Okay, my beautiful friends, here we go. And I'm sitting here in a sweater. I just got back from Yogurt Land. I don't know about you. I love Yogurt Land. I made the mother of all yogurt creations in the face of the earth. I mean, I had everything in there. We're talking about Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Butterfingers, Oreos. It was just the mother of them all. It was humongous. That's why I'm sitting here. But I come back and I look at the last video I did, the Robin Hood of Wall Street, the most important video I've ever done, the most important blog. And I see there's a lot of people who got rattled from that video, don't really know what's going on. So I'm going to clarify things here. Let's just put this together and stay calm. Okay? People, what's going on around you? What's happening? Forget the coronavirus. Let's go back to before. Yeah. The coronavirus. There's a guy who looks exactly like me. In fact, it was me, who's been explaining to you that we have a global economy in collapse. The United States economy is in free fall. So, knowing this, does it seem too far-fetched to you that alliances need to be made between nations to get through this? I would imagine you would say, no, that makes a lot of sense. Exactly. Now, what do we know? Let's talk about China. Okay. China has been pretty much, with regard to trade, an enemy of the United States. And they are not backing down. This phase one, which never happened, it was a con job. You know that. Just to buy some time here. The China trade deal talks, they're gone. You don't hear about them anymore. That does not mean that there is not something going on here underneath it all. The United States must win this trade war. That's the truth. Because without it, America is going to end up in a very dire situation here. And China knows it, and they're willing to wait it out. So in this current situation where we have a global meltdown occurring, central banks buying everything. We know the goal of central banks to be the lenders and buyers of last resort, makes you the borrower. Okay. Sometimes in desperate situations, this is desperate, strange bedfellows must come up. Now, if you, let's say, you were Russia, and you were looking at the global situation, realizing the military might of the United States, the industrial might, which potentially is here, the fact that we have the world reserve currency at this time, who would, if you were Russia, again, who would you want to align yourself with? Would you really want to stick yourself to China? Or would you want to stick yourself to the United States? Well, I think it's a no-brainer here for anyone who has the slightest understanding of what's going on. Again, we are in a global meltdown. This is a financial crisis of the highest order. It's global and it started way before this coronavirus. Now, let's set the stage here. We don't fight conventional wars anymore. They're done covertly. And the bigger plan here is for, sadly, the United States citizens, and it's happening right before your eyes, to bail out industries. That's what's going on here. A nationalization of multinational corporations. This is allowing the Fed to institute its final freaking solution to be the lender and the buyer of last resort. Now let's talk about how did this happen so rapidly? Again, 3 years of market gains got erased yesterday. In 3 weeks, poof, everyone's distracted by the virus, terrified by the virus. Where did this virus start? Started in China. Interestingly enough, Patient zero, nowhere to be found. No one knows where this came from. You know my take on this. This was deliberately dispersed in China. Okay? China's already blaming the United States for this, in case you don't know. China is saying this was done deliberately by the United States. Now, with regard to crude oil, which is the driver of these markets, get it through your head. I know some of you got real thick ones, okay? Without the price of crude oil being high, the United States energy sector craters. The financial sector craters. It pulls the entire stock market with it. You got that? You don't have to be a market person to know this. So we're good so far. Okay. Russia. Let's talk about Russia here. They're caught up in this horror show too. You know, you should also be made aware. Look at the World Health Organization statistics. And you tell me after watching this video why there are so few reported cases of coronavirus in Russia. Think about that. Again, and ponder the rest of this video. So, understanding that alliances must be made. Who's the United States going to align itself with here? Who would be the likely nation here? Understanding the vast energy supply that Russia has. Who do we want to align ourselves with? We already have the petrodollar and it ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. We will kill millions. Russia knows that. OPEC knows that. The world knows that. We've killed millions and we will continue to kill millions to keep the petrodollar alive. So if you're Russia, who do you want to align yourself with? China? Duh. Really? Or would you pick the United States? Of course you would pick the United States. You understand? How does a coup take place? Very rapidly. You create fear. You create an environment where people don't know what to do while you're doing your business underneath it all. So, what was engineered to happen was Russia told NATO, no, we're not going to play games, and it started a price war with regard to crude oil, which cratered deliberately the U.S. markets. President Trump knew this was going to happen. Again, you don't think these leaders talk to each other? President Trump says he talks to everybody. Okay, again, you're Vladimir Putin. You want to align yourself with who? Of course, the United States. And build up some kind of trade agreements, move forward together in this global collapse. That's where we are. Shouldn't be too hard to understand. Okay? So, again, deliberate act. Russia causes a price war. Crude craters, the United States market craters, creating an opportunity for the Federal Reserve here to become the lender and buyer of last resort. We nationalize everything. We helicopter money. This is where we are at. If you can't see this right now after watching the last video and then maybe watching this so it clears up in your head, you'll understand that no nation can stand by themselves right now. We are in a global collapse. And I never said that President Trump was brilliant or a genius. You think he thought this up? Absolutely not. These are people way above his pay grade. Okay, they said, listen, you want to win a trade war against China? You want to get yourself out of this disaster that you're in right now? You must make an alliance with Russia. Russia wants this. Again, who do you think they want to align with? Nobody? You think Russia wants to stand by themselves and do nothing? Of course not. Alliances are going to be made that you can't even believe moving forward. We are in trouble, people, on a global scale. We're going down. This is a meltdown. Without these kinds of arrangements, and this is a twisted thing, again, what happened? When did this? We already were in a collapse. I told you that, and you know that if you're following my blog. All of a sudden, this mystery virus gets released in China? You think that was by accident? Really? And then all of a sudden, we get this crude oil price war. The United States markets craters. Now we're bailing everybody out, nationalizing this entire thing. What does that sound like to you? This is a coup. The United States of America, our government just got replaced by another one right under your nose. Anyone could have been able to sniff this out. When crude oil hit my target, which I've been telling you is my target for about 2 years, $27 or at $26, I said, this is bigger. This is bigger. And anyone could see this. Why would Russia want to start a meltdown with regard to crude oil when they are one of the largest producers of oil in the crude oil in the world? You can't see this right now. You're that blind to not realize that this alignment here between the United States and Russia had to happen right now. It will be mutually beneficial moving forward. But again, this allows the Federal Reserve to gain power. President Trump had to play this game with the Fed, the good cop, bad cop, before the American people, full well knowing that the Federal Reserve was going to do what they're doing right now. Unlimited liquidity. This is what we found out today. Unfreaking limited liquidity. They're allowing the government to bail out everybody, multiple industries, to nationalize it all. To nationalize it all. You understand? And again, this was a setup. This was a setup from the get-go. The coronavirus being released in China. You think that's a coincidence again? Really? Okay. This deliberate cratering of crude oil to suck down global markets. The United States market as well, so now we can nationalize all of it by the Federal Reserve giving us unlimited capital to do it? This is bigger than you can possibly imagine. And if you want to sit there in your box and say, oh no, Russia wants to be friends with China. Really? Why? After what I've explained to you here. If you believe that at this point, you're gone. You do not understand geopolitics or the current environment we are in at all right now. This is a takeover on a global level. The central banks have coordinated their efforts, again, to become the lenders and buyers of last resort. Putin knows this. Trump knows this. And so does Xi, whatever his name is, over in China. China is going to need to negotiate here moving forward. That is stock market positive, but none of this is real. Again, I told you, Friday the 13th, that's when we lost whatever was left of a free market economy. It's over. And if you still don't believe that we are in a global collapse and alignments need to be made, as bizarre as they seem, then again, you're still completely lost. You can't say. If you followed my work, I've probably said things that you couldn't even believe would happen in the future, and they did. And I'm telling you right now that what I am saying has a better than 90% chance of being true. If you think about what I've said here, how this played out, this disbursement of this virus in China, when it happened, getting people afraid, distracted. Look here, while they pull off whatever they got to do here with the collapsing crude oil market, now allowing the Fed to do anything they want, they're going to blame the virus. Everything I said is coming true right here and right now. So again, what? You still think I'm wrong? You still think that it's impossible for this alignment between Russia and the United States to develop here, where alignments have got to be made in a global collapse? China's left out there swinging in the wind right now. It's incredible how many people have no understanding of what's going on at all. It's because they're in the box. They have no idea. And I see that a lot of you agree with me and you understand where this is. This was deliberate. This took a level of thinking that was way, 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 way high. And it was probably thought out either by the CIA or whatever is left of the KGB, whatever they call it now. The whole virus thing dispersing in China, when they did it, the timing of it all, the cratering of crude oil, the pulling down of the global markets, all coordinated, every single thing. Nothing is by accident here. Nothing at all whatsoever is by accident here. And with regard to these markets, the pain's probably not over here. We'll see. Crude oil is at my target range. Who else pulled that target? You think I pulled that out of a hat? How many other guys out here had a target of between $25 and $27 and then we hit it? You tell me. All right, so I'm telling you that crude oil is fairly valued here. What does it mean? We are going to see. We're going to see how this plays out. But everything always overreacts. The market still could fall moving forward, but a lot of effort here. People, if you can imagine the effort that has gone in right now to try to re-prop up this market, it's probably not enough. That's why these alignments need to be made. This is so big and it's so huge. Either we go into a Mad Max scenario, or these alignments, and there's going to be more, will happen. And it's all been thought out before as well. So again, I really hope you're coming out of this video after watching the last one with a more clear picture. You understand? All right, look, I'm going to get going. Love you all. Please share this video and let me know what you think. See you in the morning. This is really the last video. I'm done for today. Love you.